That's okay.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Maharaj.
Dandavad, Devi, Hare Krishna, Dandavad.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavad, Michael Linda. Dandavad, Vishwambar.
Dandot Pranam Prabhu.
Dandavad Maharaj.
Where's Nanda? He's not here yet. Not coming? He might just be late. Okay, let's begin. We'll have to hope. Okay, he'll join us later. Today we have Rangapuri, Sri Rangapuri Das with us.
Hey, हम श्री गुरु श्री तत्व श्री
Hare Krishna, Dandavad.
Nanda Krishna is here. He's from here. Where is he? Ananda. Dandavad, Prabhu. Okay, Vandana first.
Dandavad Umadevi, devotees.
Dandot Pranam Prabhu. Dandot.
Vandeham, Sri Guru, Sri Utapa, Sri Guru, Vaishnava, Sri Rupa,
Rupam
Sagrajata,
Sagrajatam
Sadhana Raghunatam,
Sadhanatham
Tam Sajivam,
Jivam
Advaita,
Savadutam,
Sadhutam,
Avadutam
Sahitam,
Parijana Sahit
Chaitanya
Krishna
Devam,
Chaitanya Devam
Radha,
Sri
Krishna
Radha
Padam,
Chapada
Radha
Karnalina Sri Vishwakantam
Om Gana Pivirandasya,
Simarandasya
Krishna
Anjana Shalakaya
Suri
Chakshuru
Tasmai
Anvilitamena
Shri Gurave
Tasmai
Namaha.
Shri Gurave Namaha
Puja Shri Guru
Puja Shri Guru Varga Vandita Mahabhavan Sutaya Sada Paura Parya Parampara Prachalita Praja Pramutta Kritehe Bhakti Nirmala Nirchaharasya
Vande Shri Guru
Sadhara, Vande Shri Guru,
Anata Shri Acharya Varyamijam
Gaur Bhavistam
Abhishek
Gurkam
Kurakam,
Guru Ganaya
Gurkam Gurmaya Ashisha Samoshitam
Jinja,
Samataveda Nipunam Shri
Sri
Rupam Pantanugam
Govinda
Vindamidam Ujvalam
Bharatanam
Varatanam Bhaktan Vitam Sundaram Vande Guru Pravidya Bhagava Premohi Nijapadam
Devam Divyam
Evam Divyatanam Suchandam बालार्कचेवानचिदं स्वाम्नानन्दपुरं सदेकवर्णं वैराग्यविद्यां श्रीसिद्धान्तनिधिं सुभक्तिरचितं सारस्वतानां वरं वन्दे सुभगं मदेशशरणं न्यासेश्वरं श्रीधरं श्री सिद्धांत सरस्वती गीतो गौरीय गुरु भातो भानुरीव प्रभात गगने योगौर संकीर्तने मायावादतिमिङ्गलोदरगतान् धत्त जीवान्निमान् कृष्ण प्रेम सुधाब्दिगहान् सुखं राधा प्रभुं तं भजे
Namo
नमो नमो गौरकिशोराय भक्ति मूर्तये गौरांगी प्रसादाय राधा भाव निष्पेदिने वन्दे भक्ति विनोदं श्री गौरशक्ति स्वरूपकं भक्तिशास्त्राज्ञ सम्राजं राधारस सुधा निधिं वैष्णवैर्वन्दे विग्रहं जगन्नाथ प्रभुं वन्दे प्रेमां विद्धं वैष्णवं वाञ्छकल्पातर्भ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्तिप्राख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिं नमो वादनाय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदाय कृष्णाय चैतन्यनामोरत्ते भवतां सुरतौ सङ्गो मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वपदान्तो राधामदनमोहनौ दिव्यावृद्धारण्यकल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद्रत्नाकरसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीगन्धर्वाशीलगोविन्दौ देवो प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमनोहरासरसाराम्बि वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैः गोपीर्गोपीनाथः श्रीस्तु नः तुलसीदेव्याय प्रियाये केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवे भगवते नमो नमः अथनत्वा मंत्रगुरून् गुरून् भागवतार्थान् व्यासान् जगद्गुरून् नत्वा ततो जयमुदीरयेत् जय जय चैतन्य अद्वैत गदाधर हरि गौर भक्तवृंद कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Chaitanya, Srila Santa Maharaj ki Jai.
जय
Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Jai
जय
Salavega Bhaktivinda ki Jai. All glories to the
जय
assembled devotees. All glories to the worldwide devotees. Gaur Premanandi. Hari.
हरि हरि बोल
Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai.
जय
Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa. Paribhajagacharya Sadhu-Sanga. Sri Srimad Bhakti Rakshak Srila Goswami Maharaja ki jai.
Jai.
Bye.
Jai,
Prapanna-jivanamrtam ki jai.
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 We're reading from chapter 9. Is it chapter 9? Yes. Chapter 9. Words of nectar from the Supreme Lord on the topic of surrender. Text 26 from the Bhagavad Gita. Ani bhuta vishuddha sattva ortim ashritya tamasa prakritopi paramam gatim labante mam hi parta viprasritya ye pichu papanyodaya stiyo vaishitata sudras te yanti param gati. And Sridhar's comment on this verse: by taking shelter of Sri Krishna, the embodiment of unadulterated, concentrated pure goodness, even the most depraved reach the supreme destination. Krishna is saying to Arjuna, O Partha, by expressly taking refuge in exclusive devotion for me, even low-born, barbarous people that subsist on cow flesh, corrupt women such as prostitutes, and humans of lower order such as merchants and laborers, they all swiftly reach the supreme destination. Nothing can impede those who take shelter in devotion to me. Krishna is telling the embodiment of pure goodness is situated within everyone's heart. That pure goodness is there within everyone's heart. It is reachable by everyone. Even one may be temporarily diverted from that uh, highest ideal. There's always a chance to return back, go back to that. And Krishna is encouraging Arjuna and everyone that by focusing our attention upon that within our heart and within everything. Krishna is not only within the heart, he's outside also. So by focusing upon that higher thing, then the lower things can be gradually left, abandoned. One can make progress in that direction. Ah, pure goodness, pure goodness, pure dedication, pure devotion, selfless action. Bhakti Yoga told that religion means proper adjustment. The living entities are not properly adjusted. Those who are conditioned by material consciousness, they are uh, overemphasizing their own selfish interests. We have a right to some selfish interests. Not that you don't have to neglect your basic needs, but there becomes an overemphasis in that in the material world. And that leads to all kinds of difficulties. As soon as living entities start thinking that everything is for me, and put their own interests first, then of course there's going to be conflict. among the living, especially the human society, and also the other forms of life. They will suffer by that misunderstanding, by that, um, what would you call it? Psychology, or psychopathology, of overemphasis on oneself. So religion comes to give us a direction in a different way, to learn the process of self-sacrifice, of devotion, of love for something higher, the highest ideal of goodness. Even in the great ancient Greek society, Plato, he talked about the highest ideal was the good. We have capacity to understand things like that in the human form of life. We don't have to live like animals, always struggling for what against one another for resources of material nature. Darwin taught that the struggle is going on there all the time for this resources of nature. And those who are better at getting those resources, they survive. And they defeat those who are not so good at that process. That's his theory. Emphasizing that selfishness is the wrong theory, not beneficial to human society to have that kind of understanding. No, there's an evolution of consciousness. That's the proper course of activity, proper direction for human society to take, how to evolve or develop consciousness to the higher thing, to the plane of goodness, plane of pure goodness, plane of pure devotion and selfless service. That will bring harmony to keep among the people and peace within the heart of the individuals that are striving for that. Otherwise, one's own mind will always be disturbed, and the society will also be full of so many disturbances. And the true benefit of human life will be lost. The human form of life has the ability to look into and understand these things and to strive for these things. But the society doesn't encourage this, and the individuals don't know any better without the proper direction, without the proper teachers and the proper associates to learn how to uh, search for reality, the beautiful. So we need the guidance of Guru, the direction of Shastra, the mercy of the Supreme Lord in order to come in contact with that type of life. And the only qualification is sincerity. Sincerity to want that. That's there. Everyone can turn from their degraded way of living to that higher, more perfected stage of existence. Whatever stage they are in, they can always go higher. We have the choice at every point in that progress, every step making that progress. We have a choice to go down the steps or go up, to engage in exploitation or engage in dedication. And also there's a middle stage too, which is renunciation. We can give up on the whole thing when we become too frustrated. We don't want to exploit, we don't want to dedicate. We just want to renounce everything. The Buddhists are like that, huh? They want to see nothing is there. Everything is nothing. Cancel everything out. Too painful for them to accept either renunciation, either exploitation or dedication. They don't have the heart for either. They become so frustrated. So we don't want to come to that stage. By the grace of Krishna, Shastra, and Vaishnavas, we can learn about the higher things so we can be encouraged to go in that direction. Proper direction of dedication, service, sweetness, and love. Those things are there. They're all there. But our effort is needed to reach it. It's not something that is just to be plucked like a fruit off the tree. We have to make some effort to go in that direction, to unpeel ourselves, you can say. We're attached, identified with the material, so many material desires, and then so many material things, and how to detach from that and attach ourselves to the higher world. Maybe a slow process. But Mahaprabhu has made it easier for us. We can just remember to chant the holy name. As promised, we can make progress in our spiritual life simply by that one activity. Hare Krishna. Kali Yuga is very difficult. People are very entangled. There's so many things. And Mahaprabhu has promised that if we could chant Hare Krishna, we can at least do that much. Then our consciousness will be shifted. Our attention will be shifted. And by good fortune, we may one day come in contact with a genuine devotee, a genuine servitor of the Lord. And then our progress is guaranteed. Huh? If we can come in contact with the devotee and serve them. Serve someone who's already serving. The genuine Vaishnava is the one who is serving a Vaishnava. And the genuine disciple is one who is serving a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is serving his Guru, and one who is serving the Vaishnava. He is a genuine disciple. That's all. It's all based upon service. Service to Krishna, service in the highest conception of truth and reality and goodness and beauty and sweetness. So many descriptors can be given of that plane. It does exist. Those who have reached into those regions, they've explained these things to us. Hard for one who has not experienced that to understand what that could be. can only have faith, you can only imagine. But somehow there's something within us that will drive us to that goal also. Once we are inspired by that, once we've got to learn how to make progress in that direction. They're not a secret. Huh? The process is service. Whatever you're doing, huh? Do that in service to Krishna. Do that in service to Guru. Do that in service to Vaishnava. Every moment of your life you can use in that service and attitude. That will be increasing your spiritual bank account, your deposit. And that deposit will come one day to give you a big interest payment back. Uh, and interest is the ecstatic taste of devotional life. It'll come. You just have to have a little patience, a lot of patience, and a lot of faith. Mahaprabhu himself, uh, he has shown us that even he, uh, taking the form of a devotee, taking the mood of a devotee, showed how much uh, he had to tolerate the feeling of separation, how painful he had. How much pain he had to experience to both fix upon that highest ideal, to show us that it's not impossible and it's not uh, easy either, but to encourage us to go in that direction anyhow. One very nice verse, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He prayed, but the path is difficult, and I am blind, and my feet keep slipping again and again. Path is difficult, I'm blind, and I keep falling down again and again. He said, but I pray to the saints for their stick of mercy. It's hard to walk without a stick sometimes. So he's praying for their stick of mercy, their mercy stick. And then he can get up and they can use that to keep going on. And giving us the key. If somehow or other we can get that mercy. Devotees are always looking for that, praying for that, because that is the only thing that keeps that going on. Nothing else. When all else is lost, the only thing that's possible left is mercy. I remember once Acharya Maharaj said, Gurudev, yes, Gurudev. He said, without your mercy, I am nothing. Yeah, I have no credit on my own. I'm completely in need of your mercy. The whole thing comes down to that one thing. Mercy. If you could do that, then I might be able to continue in my life. Some substance may be there in my life, something tangible to live for. So, Sridhar Maharaj, I had given that title to that book that Goswami Maharaj compiled about Guru. Maharaj gave, Sridhar Maharaj gave that title, not just about Guru, but Sri Guru and his grace. One may have Guru, but to have his grace, to have his mercy. There we have the strength to go on. The mercy stick while we're stumbling. As Srila Prabhupada told, the secret of spiritual progress, of making spiritual advancement, is to please the spiritual master. Make the spiritual master happy with our service. If we act that way, with that intention, with that goal, then we might just get that mercy. And we can go on serving more and more. The real mercy of Guru is service, is service, the service of Krishna, the service of the Vaishnavas. That is the way mercy manifests itself. One who has service, who has a service mood, who is engaged in serving activities, there we proclaim mercy of Guru is manifest. Text 27. Jivanam Prakriti Yadhritatvam Ishwarasyo Bhaya Yamakatvan Cha. And from the Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hridasya Junati Stati Brahma Ramayan Sarvabhutani Yantra Rudrani Mayaya. The Mahar's comment on that verse is the conditioned souls are enslaved by material nature, but the Lord is the controller of both nature and the living beings. And Krishna says in that verse in the Bhagavad Gita is translated as, O Arjuna, I am situated in the hearts of all souls as the super soul, the Lord and Master of all souls. For every endeavor of the living being in this world, the Lord, by plenary expansion, the super soul, awards an appropriate result as an object mounted on a wheel is caused to revolve. The living beings are caused to revolve in the universe by the almighty power of the Lord. Decided by Him, your destiny will naturally be affected according to your endeavors. So Krishna is revealing the secrets of the cosmos, right? The secrets of this material world. How the living entities are moving, what's happening, how they're doing things, why things are happening the way they are. He's giving this information, his knowledge to Arjuna. To be able to look deeply into things and see this, understand this, that is Krishna's grace. The Dhammi Buddhi. Krishna says he gives the intelligence of understanding to his devotees who are dedicated to him. By acting in this way of giving one's life, dedicating one's life of service to Krishna and devotees, that type of knowledge will manifest in one's heart. That knowledge of how things are working will manifest in one's heart. We can check as we're making progress in our own spiritual life. Does this come? Is it coming like this? Is it evolving like that? Am I understanding things in that way that Krishna is explaining in the Bhagavad Gita? It's possible, by Krishna's grace, to understand how these things are working. How Krishna is there within everyone's life. It's like when the sun is shining on a pot of water. You may have hundreds of pots of water. And if you look at each pot, you'll see a little sun shining there. Yeah? The sun will be shining in each pot of water, reflected. That's called reflection. So it's possible. Krishna can be in one place and still reflecting in so many different things, millions and millions and millions of souls. And that way, by reflection, we can understand even by a material example, mundane example, sun and the pots of water. So certainly by his transcendental power, Krishna can also be situated in one place and yet appearing at least in individual soul at the same time. And then he's explaining that uh, the endeavor of the living entity uh, is always endeavoring for some result. This effort means endeavoring to make some effort, to have a desire to get something, to want something, to do something. And generally, the desire of the living entity is to see something from the environment. He feels he is lacking something, and that environment will provide that for him. But as the Newton law said, for every action, there's a reaction. So when the living entity tries to get a result from his actions in the material environment, a reaction from the environment will come and take its toll from that living entity, just, just as a reverse, as a result of that action and reaction. That's the Newton's law. And also in the Vedas, we find the same thing. It's called karma. So Krishna is saying that if we, whatever we endeavor for, he is giving that karma, that whatever his reaction is coming, that's coming from the super soul. And the good things are also coming from him. If we endeavor to serve him, if we endeavor to please Krishna, if we endeavor to do the right things, then also our result will come. That coming from Krishna. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam sadaiva bhajamiham. Krishna explains, as they surrender to me, I reward them. accordingly. So he's telling Arjuna, don't be attached to your results of your work. Do your endeavor, do your work, do your duty. But don't be attached to the result, because that result that you're looking for from the material energy will come to take its toll from you. But whatever you do for me, Krishna is saying, I will give you the result. You will get a result coming from Krishna. Also, a reciprocal action is going on there. But that is not Newton's law. That's another type. That's Krishna's law. Krishna's promise to his devotee. Krishna's nature. Why? Because the living entity and Krishna are not separate. Just like the hand is not separate from the body. A different body has different parts. Hand, you can point to your hand and say, this is my body. No, hand is part of the body. Yet it's different from the body, and it's one with the body. So if the hand takes some food and gives it to the mouth, then the hand benefits and the body benefits. If you put water on the root of the tree, the root takes the water, but the whole tree gets watered also. So they're different parts, and they may do different things, but if they're done in relationship to the whole, because they're connected to the whole, they will get the benefit. That's philosophy, not logic. So Krishna is not illogical. Krishna consciousness is not something irrational. It's not merely blind faith. There's a great science behind it also. And they're telling you the Gita how that works. Huh? You try to exploit from the take from the environment, do some action toward the environment will come and take some toll from you. But if you engage in activities with me, there's also some reaction. But that will be the wholeness, wholesome reaction. You'll get some benefit from that too. But don't act for the sake of that benefit. Huh? You must act for the sake of the whole. And automatically that result will come to us. The more you act in relationship to the self-interest, the less that higher relationship will be able to respond to you. That relationship of the finite to the finite will produce an infinite chain of actions and reactions. And that giving of the finite to the infinite, relation that way of submission to the infinite, that will produce a result which is everlasting, eternal. It gives here, Krishna says, yantra, yantra rudam mayaya, yantra rudam mayaya. Huh? Yantra means a machine, huh? A yantra. Maya is like a machine. And Sripad explains that meaning of that here is that just like an object on a wheel, if you turn the wheel, the object will move also. If you put it on the wheel, the wheel will go around, and the object on the wheel will also go around. Huh? So Krishna is the wheel. He's causing everything. Therefore, we are moving. The idea that he's giving. Either we'll do it in this mechanical way of this material world, which is controlled by the laws of nature, or we have a personal relationship with the Lord. And then it's controlled by love, by affection, by kindness and mercy. But in either case, we're not independent. So in some dependence of the living entity or the finite living entity upon the infinite whole, the organic whole. Supreme, supreme means infinite, huh? The supreme infinite Lord. But we don't have to relate to him as infinite. We can relate to him as uh, our friend, our lover. Krishna's amazing nature is like that. Nothing is impossible for the infinite. Not even to become finite is not impossible for the infinite. Okay, now we have five more minutes. Is over there leaves?
She left now.
Huh?
Yes.
She said she was going?
No. She was at work. She left
Oh,
the
she was
work
at
on
work.
the way home.
Okay. All right, so any questions?
Dandot Maharaj.
Yes.
Uh,
Questions?
yes, Maharaj. Um, yeah, when you asked any questions, like since I'm sorry about the background noises, I hope you're not getting the noise. It's a eternal. The whole process of Krishna consciousness is a eternal quest. Am I clearly audible, Maharaj?
Huh?
You can hear you, Guru.
Uh,
Okay, okay. So the whole process of Krishna consciousness, if I understood it correctly, please correct me, Maharaj, if I'm wrong. It's an eternal quest. So, will there be a stage in the process of bhakti where we'll not have any more questions?
Will there be a stage in the eternal process of Krishna conscious development where we no longer have questions?
I don't know. In general, yes. But in your case, probably not.
Sorry, Maharaj, I couldn't understand.
When you're relating, when your mom cooks you some food, huh, you might say, "Mom, what did you put here? What is this made from? What kind of spices did you use? What kind of vegetables did you buy from the market?" I ask so many questions. Huh? It ought to be very nice. Instead of sitting down and relishing the wonderful preparation Mother has made, tasting the sweetness, the succulence, the affection been put into the preparation. the questionings seem out of place. We would rather detract from the whole situation. So there's a stage where there's no longer that kind of inquisition. You know, a higher taste, the mental world is something higher than the mental world. Heart, there, the feelings, the relishing. It's possible you could come to that plane of relishing, of tasting the sweetness of service, the sweetness of love. And then you'll find that questioning is not it's disappeared, fallen away, all those doubts, not important. But there is a stage there when we just, that question stage is overcome. You stop being so suspicious and just open your heart. And you let your heart express what the soul wants to express. The function of the soul. Once I heard Sripad Maharaja so sweetly. He said, the function of the soul is to love. Bhakti Thakur also said the same thing. He said, the function of the soul is to love and be loved. Questioning is not necessary for the beginner. When we come to the platform of love, it doesn't mean that you have to, you know, be overly uh, tranced in love. Ordinary love between human beings as human beings. Much better state of existence to be in, rather than always suspecting one another. So especially in the platform of devotional service, we love the Vaishnavas, we love Krishna. And love for the Vaishnavas will grow as we develop our love for Krishna. It comes automatically with the territory. Automatically. You develop your love for Krishna, you will develop your love for the Vaishnavas. And then once you start experiencing that, all this questioning will end. It won't be interesting to you anymore. But you can still keep progressing. Even in the stage of love, we want to know more. We may want to know more also. How can I improve my love? How can I improve my dedication? How can I enhance? Anyhow, that's my answer. Any other?
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that answers every other questions basically. There's one explanation which. Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai.
Dr. Linda, how are you doing?
Me, Maharaj.
Dr. Linda, are you there? Just wondering how you're doing.
I'm okay. Quite tired. I've been very busy.
Okay.
I don't know. Just thinking about this serving Vaishnavas and gurus. What happens if you don't have a Vaishnava or a guru? Can you just serve anybody?
I think it's,
Hmm?
well, you have, it's not that you don't have anyone, it's that you don't have faith. You have to put your faith in the Vaishnavas, in Gurudev. And we have that connection. Otherwise, they are there. Prabhu, you're leaving? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
1 minute.
They are. The car is getting hot.
Huh?
So the car is getting hot, so I have to take care of the ladies. Thank you.
Okay. Rangapuri is leaving. Dandavats.
No, thank you so much. You want to take some fresh water? I was getting this.
So we have to have, if we are inspired by someone, a devotee or a Gurudev, an Acharya, then we can have a connection. If we don't have any faith, then we have to wait until someone comes along to inspire us. People ask that question, is it possible without gurus to make progress in spiritual life? I don't think that uh, that's the right process. Because what happens in that case, we want to have a direct connection with Krishna. Huh? And that is not proper. Krishna is it's called Vishnu Tattva, and we are Jiva Tattva. We are predominated energy like Radharani. Radharani is predominated energy, Krishna is the predominating energy. So we are coming from the predominated or energy part of Krishna. And so our connection is always with that that type of energy, predominating, dependent energy. By uh, connecting with that energy, we can make a real connection. Otherwise, it's a more, what do you call it, ephemeral, abstract uh, connection. Trying to do it directly with Krishna. So you might have to wait. Krishna send you. You continue your service, your mood of service, chanting whatever you're doing puja at the altar, and praying that Krishna will send someone, a Vaishnava. whom you can serve, who can help you in your progress in spiritual life. I think that's the best thing that you can do if you don't have anyone right now whom you have faith in. And then gradually you will be able to develop your relationship, your serving relationship in that way. I know in my own life, it just never occurred to me. As a materialistic person, we generally don't have any idea of coming in contact with Guru or Vaishnavas. We don't even know that such things exist in our conditioned existence. And so when something like that appears in our lives, the opportunity appears in our lives, it's like a miracle coming from nowhere, right?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes. Yes. Are you there?
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Yes. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada. Yasya prasada nagati pato. It is explained in Srila Chakravarti Thakur. By the mercy of Krishna, one gets Guru. And by the mercy of Guru, one gets Krishna. So when Guru appears in our life, we know that that is the mercy of Krishna coming to us. And by His mercy, we may get a chance to serve Krishna. All right. My humble Dandavat pranams. Be well, be happy, be safe. My affection love to you.
And about Maharaj. Till next
Dandavat,
time.
Dandavat, Maharaj. Dandavat to
Stay
all
well.
devotees.
Nandavat, Maharaj, Nandavat, devotees.
Jai. Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai. Bhakti
Jai.
Nishkam Shanta Guru Maharaj ki jai.
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 Krishna Kishore Prabhu ki jai. All assembled devotees ki jai.
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 Haribo.